started today. Hi everyone, my name is Lydia Reed, editor, and welcome back to another Business Skills webinar where we get to talk all things related to business and different skills and inputs that we need as business owners to A, keep ourselves going, B, keep our business running and continually learn, because this journey, if nothing else in the world of business, is all about learning and keeping our skills going. Now, I met Alex in a networking group where I keep coming in to listen to me talk for the first time about how to market your business. Alex is a fitness coach. He's here today to talk to us about one of the most important topics when it comes to the world of business, and take it from somewhere that who's been there, burnt out, and done that stuff before, about optimizing our health. So how we can get optimal results by being healthy and by taking breaks and maintaining our fitness levels throughout that journey. So Alex, welcome. Please share with us in a 1 minute nutshell, please, what it is you do and how you help business owners like us maintain our lives.
Fantastic. Yeah, totally will. You almost introduced me better than I could have ever hoped for there. The energy is fantastic. It's just like energy. I love that. So I'm a health and fitness coach. I've been coaching for about 7 years now. And my background's all in elite sports. I used to work for a lot of elite athletes, a lot of sports teams, helping them basically bring in hauls of medals and all that kind of stuff. Nowadays, I focus a lot more on working with business owners, on working with working professionals, and taking a lot of the skills that I learned from over there and just applying them and helping people like get results that they want. I feel there's so much misinformation in the fitness industry nowadays that actually taking some scientific-based approaches and just bringing them across is so useful. So that's me. That's my one minute little nutshell information.
Nutshell. Fantastic. Alex, thank you for joining us today. Now, I know as a business owner myself, the word hustle drives me crazy. The words grind, the fact that you need to, there's a perception out there in business that you need to be working 24/7, that you need to be working really, harsh. And if you're not working on your business on weekends and you're not working during the middle of the night, then you don't really have a business. Part of why BBB, the business community exists, part of the reason that I share this information is because there is no badge, hall of medal, or honours for a burnout business owner. There's no one out there putting out a new gravestone, worked really hard, burnt out, had no life, didn't spend time with their family. That's not the gravestone that people are aiming for when we go through this journey. So I suppose part of the reason I invited you to come into a skills webinar was to share with us how we can optimize our performance in business, optimize our health so we're getting the best results, and also the importance of doing so that we do achieve those really good results and we don't end up being the burnout business owner who has no friends and no life because we did too much.
That's huge. That is so huge. Like the amount of business posts I see that end with hashtag grind, hashtag 24/7. It's crazy. And as a health and fitness coach, there's very little I can do if you are going to work 24 hours a day and not give yourself any rest or sleep or downtime. You're up against it there, and it's you know as well as anyone, it's just going to burn you out. Like I think we've all been there when we started trying to do more hours than there are in a day, and it's just a recipe for just knackering yourself, isn't it?
Look, cards on the table, guys. COVID-19. I wanted to support you guys through COVID as much as I possibly could, but I almost killed myself doing it because 24/7 we're trying to get information in through to the group. We're trying to still support our own clients. We're saying, okay, yes, our job is to lead in this time. And I literally did. One day just stood at the computer here and said, I have to stop. I am no good to anyone if I continue going at this pace. Now, I've learnt the warning signs, but grind and hustle and all that sort of stuff is there. Alex, I believe you have a presentation for us today on how we can optimize our business health, how we can get a little bit of fitness back in our life. For those of us who are maybe sitting at desks until we got a standing desk, or maybe sitting at our desks, what do we need to do? Let's delve into the tips and the knowledge and the information you have to share with us.
Let's delve in. Cool. And do you mind if I share the presentation? If I just pop it on share screen?
Feel free. Let's share the screen.
Fantastic. Let me just send that through. So can we see
Beautiful.
that? Are we all good with that?
We can see your screen. Yes.
Fantastic. Let me bang this slide on. You're about to see the peak of my technical knowledge over here. The PowerPoint is about as far as it goes for me. Pop my little viewer down there.
It's a good start.
Yeah, it's not bad. All right, it's not bad. We're on. We're moving. Right. So yeah, I wanted to talk today a little bit about optimizing your body for business success. We've already touched on some of those cornerstone principles, some of these ideas that you have to sort of, that your body is that linchpin for everything that you do, and that if you're not looking after yourself, it's really hard to show up in your business, especially if you run a client-focused business. If you are helping people and interacting with people, so difficult to do that and bring the energy that you want if you're just really tired all the time. I can't imagine what a tired or burnt out Linda would look like. That's hard to imagine, but
Not pretty.
not pretty. So what I want to do is start with a little bit about who it's for. So most of you rocking up are going to be business owners, entrepreneurs. You want to build a great looking, high performing body, and the high performing is going to be the key to that. Like actually feeling like you have the energy to perform, that you've got the focus in your business, that you're healthy enough to actually work in your business day to day. It's also going to be best for people that are willing to take fast and effective action, and people who value their time and energy highly. So if I was to emphasize who it's not for, it would be if you're looking for that kind of like magic pill. I can't provide that magic pill, quick fix. I'm not that kind of coach. So if that's what you've rocked up for, I'm really sorry. I can't do that, guys. I'm going to offer you the best information I can, but I can't offer super magic information that's going to fix everything overnight. So you've got to be willing to, right? Crazy.
Marketing doesn't have a magic pill either. Why not?
It is so annoying. I know, you actually have to put in this work. It does my head in. If I could just wake up tomorrow perfectly healthy, like all my marketing done, oh, life would be a dream, wouldn't it?
Would be.
Yeah. So yeah, we do have to take the action on that. So what would your life look like if? This is like the whole future pacing psychology bit, isn't it? But I love imagining forwards. So what would your life look like if you did have that more energy, that more focus, that more confidence every single day, every week, every month, without having to drink about 6 cups of coffee and do 30 minutes of morning rituals? And this has got to be sort of vibing with you a little bit, because I'm a bit of a coffee fiend. I will admit it. I'm going to be digging.
Hey, Alex, I've cut down to 3 cups. Sorry, can I still have my 3 cups of coffee? Like,
Ooh,
this is how marketing gets done.
Yeah, but I'm not going to say you can't have coffee. Like, I'm not a monster. That's. I almost debated having a coffee, but my like kettle's behind me. That I debated having a coffee before this presentation, and then I thought, no, it's 2:30 in the morning. Is that a good idea over here?
I told you guys, it's real. This is what we're talking about real stuff that we have to do within our business.
This is the real stuff. All right, I'm going to move us on. So the next 45 minutes, what I want to, well, probably the more 30 minutes because I talk quick, unless you guys distract me a ton with loads of questions, which I am hoping for, but we'll find out.
Ask questions, guys.
So we're going to have like how an information diet can help you cut that overwhelm when it comes to your health and fitness. We're going to cover 3 questions that you can use to gain clarity on your goals. We're going to go over how to design training programs and exercise programs that actually deliver results for you. And last but not least, I'm going to share like the step-by-step nutrition priorities roadmap that I help my clients use to cut out the fads, find what works, and create a great looking, high-performing body without having to starve yourself and feel miserable. So that's going to be really fun when we get into that. I'm going to cover that last, but it's going to be really, really good.
We're looking forward to that bit.
Should be fantastic. So yeah, it's basically going to be the exact process that I use to help loads of people out. This is everything that I would do in my business. Obviously, I can't go through every single thing because it would bore you to tears if I took you through all my Excel spreadsheets. But I can at least give you an overview of what I do. And as I've emphasized before, like this isn't a 14-day transformation, 6-pack secrets type thing. It's not my vibe. I'm a real person, a real human being. I'm just going to share the best information that I know with you, and we're gonna put in the work. So why stick around? I've sort of already gone over what we're going to talk about, but we're going to get to some really cool information later. So any of this sound like you? We've talked about who this might be for. These are like problems that might resonate. These are things that I've taken straight from the lips of my clients over the years. So have you ever tried to get in shape in the past with some mixed results and no real idea why, to the point that you're almost sick of the entire process? The words sick of the process, I've heard in so many conversations, it is ridiculous. Maybe you feel a little bit lonely, a little bit off track without regular accountability. Like, this is a really interesting thing, right? So I work with business owners, I work with professionals in really like, how to describe it? Like high intensity careers, people that work in the law, the medical professions. They're all pretty independent, kick-ass kind of people. Like, you're all overworkers, overthinkers. That's just the vibe of the people that I work with.
Yeah.
But there is something to be said for accountability. You tend to always, even though you can do so much on your own, feeling like you could have a training partner or something like that always tends to vibe. Might be feeling a little bit overwhelmed or confused by the sheer amount of information out there. I'm sure this is the same within marketing for your guys, Linda. But there's so much saturation in the market nowadays. You just log onto Instagram or Facebook or YouTube, and it's like every other person is telling you what's wrong. Or like, if I trusted just what was on YouTube, it'd be like, this exercise is killing me, this one's killing me, I can't do this. It's really difficult to try and get through some of that. And yeah, last but not least, are you sort of sick of wasting your time struggling to get the results you want, when you could be spending it in your business, with friends, with family, with your loved ones, and where your priorities actually are? Unless you're weird like me and you love spending your life in the gym, you probably have more important things to do. Man, I've really gone into this. I've got some points. So you might be stressed about not learning movements correctly. So we're going to address that, about pains, niggles, injuries, those kinds of stuff. You might
you and I were talking before we started about gym injuries.
Yes,
especially with everyone in Australia right now being able to go back to the gym.
Yeah, we were. If you are going to go back to the gym this week or next week, just ease yourself in. Don't go straight back in and try and do the hardest workout you've ever done. It's probably not a good idea. Yeah. I'm going to talk a little bit today about that feeling that when you get busy with work, your training and your health goes out the window. This is a huge one for a lot of my clients. It's like you get everything in place, and then you start a new job or a new project or get a new client on board, and then it's all gone, and we're back to where we were. So that's something we have to deal with. And you probably want something predictable, something that's effective, that you can adapt to you without having to spend every week an hour in the gym. So that's probably, some of those might have vibed with you. That's the situation I've been at. Business owners I know. Yeah, this is it. So you know, I've chatted to a lot of people about this over the years, so I feel I got a decent sense of what's going on with you guys. I've been where you are as well. So obviously I'm a business owner myself. Like, fitness coaching is my business. That's what I love doing. But I have all of those things have resonated with me. That overwhelm, that stress, that burnout, is all things that I've experienced. So I'm going to take you through some of the stuff that I've done. And the good news is, they're all symptoms. They're not real problems. So the real problem in my mind is that you're still trying to get fit. I'm going to call it the old way, which sounds super marketing-y, but it really is. Like, if you think about health and fitness in terms of, like, if you look at what's been marketed to you in magazines and on the TV for years and years and years, there's so many of these ideas built up that have probably made their way into your mind a little bit. And they're not necessarily true. There's so many little myths that have made their way up there and that just make your health and fitness journey so much harder than it needs to be. So I'm just going to share with you, there's some simple scientific principles today, just a new way of training. I love that on camera, Linda, you're sort of like wobbling side to side, like a boxer, just ready.
That's what the standing desk is for, Alex, to burn off the energy.
I do need to get a standing desk. I really need to get one of those.
Seriously, I love mine.
Yeah, all right. I'm gonna have to take the plunge and get one of them. Don't just take my word for it. Got a few little client testimonials. I'm not going to take you through them, but I've got Becca here, looking good, feeling happy. I've got my man Leo, again, loads more energy from working with me. And I've got my man Paul, again, talking about health issues, injuries. We worked a lot with him to get over them. I just like to always pop of these in here. So over the last year, I've worked with a lot of different people. So I've helped 5 people lose more than 20 pounds. 7 people feel confident enough to take pretty big business and career actions. And 13 others help sort of get huge improvements in their health, fitness, and energy levels. What's important, the reason I mention this, maybe it's to brag, maybe it's a little bit to brag, but it's also so that you guys know that I do sort of walk the walk, and this is what I do on the daily. Like, all of these people had full-time businesses or careers. Some of them had kids, some of them had busy lives. This isn't, these aren't just people that have got no other priorities. So they're all in a similar kind of boat. And this is a little bit about me. So I just told you at the start that my background is that elite sports coaching, working with talented athletes and teams. Just shared a little bit of information here about some of the teams I've worked with. So I've worked with British Weightlifting, University of Leeds, Leeds Beckett University. You can probably tell that I'm from Leeds based on the places that I've worked. And just a little pick of me and my wife, just because that's an important part of my life. So are we ready? Are we ready to hit the information?
Are we ready? Are we ready, guys? Thumbs up on the live stream if you're watching the live stream. If you're ready, comment yes in the chat box here if you're watching with us live, that you're ready to go. Alex, I think the biggest thing that I would like to say from watching Alex's channel as we go through all of this, every exercise you've shown is something that people can do within their home without a massive form of equipment or without the massive ability. And you actually step it through, and I quite like that it's different to everything else. People are ready, Alex. We're getting thumbs up. We're getting questions ready to go. So we've got chat boxes. So let's delve into these 4 ways.
Fantastic. Let's delve in. So yeah, the 4 different ways I want to talk about. And the first one, like, you got this old way, which is this is the paradigm that we're sort of on now. This is where most of my clients come to me at. This is you over on the left. And then we've got random ebooks. We've got multiple diet plans. We've got hours on YouTube, dozens of programs. We've got forums and Facebook groups. And we have not enough information and time. And you've got poor old Kirk sat here like this. This is the paradigm as it exists right now. And it sucks. It drains the life out of you when you're trying to get fit. Like, it just takes so many hours. It's frustrating. We're quitting that. We're done with that. This is the new way. It's my little 1 step each time. We do an in-depth analysis. Going to follow 1 program. You're going to have 1 trusted advisor. I don't care if it's me. Ideally, it would be me, but it can be anyone. It can be a coach, a friend, someone you trust. 1 source of information for simplicity, for clarity, for consistent results. That's what I want to move you towards. And the first step on that is an information diet. So I want you to know less in order to succeed. Stop trying to find more information. So this is one of the biggest mistakes that I see people make over and over again, and it's one of the main reasons they fail. Now, I realize it's weird, me as a coach saying get less information, because I'm providing information to you right here, but no more information than this. This is it. You've peaked. Watch this presentation and then go and actually do the stuff that I tell you to do, all right? Next up, knowledge is not power. The right knowledge at the right time is power. Too much information just leads you to feeling overwhelmed. It's the same in your business. It's the same. There are so many steps that you can take. You do the wrong thing at the wrong time, it's completely pointless to you, okay? And if you can't implement them, it's not going to help. If you want to succeed, you've got to put yourself on this information diet. You've got to really strictly focus on what you need to do. So don't listen to everyone. Forums, friends, that guy, girl at the gym, YouTube, articles you read. You can tell I'm English because I've said Tom, Dick, and Harry. I don't know if that's too English. But yeah, too many voices. You've got conflicting opinions, confusion, overwhelm. It means you don't get anywhere because you're too busy getting pulled in this direction and in this direction. You're all over the shop. It's not going to help. It's better to have 1 trusted, reliable advisor than dozens of people that don't know what they're talking about. And as I said before, that can be anyone. It can be someone you trust. It can be a friend. It can be a family member. It can be 1 source that you follow online. It can be a coach. It almost doesn't matter so much who that person is, as long as they're knowledgeable, as long as you trust them, as long as it's 1 source that you can follow and stick with for a while. And when you do this, you can free up hours of your...
So I say the same thing in business.
Yeah,
it's the same thing in business and the same thing in marketing. You get too much information. The information overwhelm paralyzes you and stops you from taking action. Same thing here. Stop the paralysis. And Alex, I've said this to a couple of people, not many people in BBB know, I'm an ex-ballet dancer. So I used to, and I can tell you that my coaches were very strict. I don't care what you read on the internet. I don't care what you read. I don't care what you heard at the last competition. You do what I say, and you do what I do. And that discipline really helps me maintain my fitness levels, because I will go back to basics. I'll go back to what I was taught, because these people knew what they were talking about. So same thing, guys. It's not, quite often simplicity is what we need.
100%. And more than anything right now, I feel that you need to upload to the BBB group like a pirouette or something very fancy. Like, I'm just imagining that now. Like, huge congrats for the ballet. That's such a hard skill to learn.
I have not danced for 20 years. There's no pirouette. There's no splits coming out of me anytime soon.
Yeah, I did want to try to learn the splits. That was fun. It didn't quite work for me. I'm going to move us on. So basically, when you focus on doing this, you're going to have those hours of extra time. It's going to keep you focused, just like Linda mentioned there. It's going to be really useful, and it allows you to focus on executing what you do know. The analogy I always use with my clients is the rally driver. You're 100, to about 100 miles an hour. You got blind corners, dirt roads. One navigator. They don't have 4 people sat in the car telling them what to do, because that would be chaos. They'd crash into the first tree. It'd be game over. They got a single source of information that tells them what to do at exactly the time that they need to do it. So keep that rally driver analogy in your head all the way through your health and fitness journey. Step 2, my next little shift, is all about planning. So do it properly and achieve your goals. Let's talk about planning. Got the 6 P's. Proper planning prevents pretty poor performance. There is a cruder version of that, as we're all aware, but I figured I'd keep this fairly PC, and families are around. We're all at home at the minute. A well thought out, like, without a long-term plan, there's just too much uncertainty to achieve consistent, predictable results. As soon as you hit an obstacle, you're going to spend all your time second guessing yourself. And I see it time and time again.
You know what, Alex? I think one thing that we need to talk about in training or in any performance, in anything within business, you will hit obstacles. You're going to, and I'm going to throw Alex slightly under the bus here.
Do it. Throw him in the bus.
But we were talking before about Alex has had an injury, and that meant that he's hurt himself and that sort of stuff. So that's meant he's hit an obstacle. We are not immune from hitting obstacles throughout our business journey, our fitness journey, our training journey. Part of the reason I haven't danced for 20 years is my knee just gave up. It just went, you can't dance anymore. But the components of that is I haven't stopped my fitness, and I haven't stopped my regimes and my business and my working, and the planning comes into place. The plan is to help you continue through that journey when the obstacle pops up. And I think it's really important that we all understand that with whatever we're doing, but especially when it comes to our health and fitness. Oh, I hurt myself, so I can't look at an alternative way of getting some fitness in at the moment. And you're seeing me stand at my standing desk this morning, and I'm moving around, and because otherwise my muscles will be tired, and so at the end of this.
So it's so true, isn't it? Yeah, like, you're going to hit obstacles whatever you do, whether that's business, whether that's anything, any skill you try and learn, anything you try and do. And I have this pet theory, that the bigger thing you try and accomplish, the more the universe throws stuff in the other direction. It's
wants to make sure you're
guaranteed.
serious.
Yeah, that's just the way it works. That's Murphy's Law. So I think having a plan that's adaptable, knowing where you want to go with that is super important. And almost expecting that there are going to be some obstacles and that you're going to have to adapt and work around them is definitely part of the process. So for me, I really think about, like, just try and get crystal clear on what your goals are. Give yourself that certainty and give yourself that sanity, because you're going to stop second guessing yourself. Take the time at the start of what you do to plan out what you want to do, and it's going to keep you a lot more motivated. So the 3 questions. I love a good analogy, so I'm going to roll with a traveling analogy right now, okay? So we're on that success journey, which sounds super cheesy because it sort of is. But first, I want to know, where are you traveling to? So in the context of your health and fitness, this means, what are your goals? Are you trying to lose weight? Are you trying to build some muscle? Are you trying to get stronger? Are you trying to improve at sports? Do you just want to get started? Have you got a few injuries or niggles you want to work around, or you want to improve? Be honest with yourself. No one else can tell you what these goals are. And just pick a couple of things that are really important to you, 1 or 2 at most, and you're going to focus on those. That's it. Not 10 goals, not 15, not 100 stuff you want to accomplish at the same time, just a couple of goals. Know where you're traveling to, and no one can tell you what's right or wrong for you. I have a lot of clients come in and they've got all these other people have told them what goals that they should be working towards, and that sucks. Your goals are your goals. You do what you want to do, all right?
And in different stages in your life, I know personally for me, when I was dancing, I wanted to be a particular size, I have particular muscles, be able to do the lifts and that I needed to be able to do. Now, I just want to have energy. That's what my fitness is about. My fitness is about having energy, turning up, being able to do the crazy stuff that I do, and be able to do that within the business without stretching myself too thin. Now, that's changed in moments in my life. If you'd asked the 20-year-old dancer, she would have got energy to do work. What do you mean? Dance is work. So it comes down to where you are within your life, and how things are going to make. And my goal is completely different to everyone else's goal around me. And, you know, I'll say that to people. I don't need to be a size 6 dancer anymore. What I need to be is a healthy mum and a healthy business owner, and there for my people and my staff and my family.
And that's so important, isn't it? Because you know that, and you've had that time, you've put that thought into that to go, you know, this is my goal now. This is what's important to me. Like, yeah, it's and those goals are going to change over time, as you said. You know, you might, if you're 18 or 19 and you don't have that many cares or other things going on, your priorities are different. Like,
Exactly.
it's okay to say, like, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, as someone that's got a ton of stuff going on, it's cool to say, look, health and fitness, like running a marathon in 2 hours 27 minutes is not my goal right now, but being healthy and energetic and showing up for my staff, that's where my goals are at, and that's cool. That's where it's at. The next big question, how long do you have to get there? On my little journey metaphor, right? Are we talking about 12 days, 12 weeks, 12 months? Okay, so if we think about losing 14 kilos or 30 pounds across a year, it's a very different journey than to trying to lose 14 kilos across a matter of weeks. They're both theoretically possible, but very different approaches needed, and one's probably a lot healthier than the other. So you need to know how long you have to do these things. And then the last question is, have you traveled before? So if you were traveling, if you're really used to traveling, if you've been around the world, you know how things work. You know how to go through airports and navigate customs, and you know how to, get used to new cultures. That's great. You're going to make this a lot easier. If you've never traveled before, it's going to be really difficult. So if you've never tried to exercise or do any health and fitness before, if you've never been in a gym, if you've never tried to do a press up, be honest with yourself. Don't expect yourself to do a really advanced, super difficult program. It's cool. You don't have to do that. Like, just be honest about where you're at, what you've done in the past, what your training history is, and we can start designing stuff around that. You can start putting ideas together based on that honest assessment of where you're at. Don't try and imagine yourself as an advanced athlete. Trust me, you don't want to be one. It sucks. I've coached them for a lot of years. When you're an elite or an advanced athlete, you have to work for 4 years to improve by like 1%. It is mind-boggling. You don't want that. You want to be a beginner.
Slightly, you're a nasty
being a
person.
beginner is amazing.
You're slightly a nasty person at that point in time, too, occasionally.
Yes, exactly.
Coming from competition level, no one wanted to know me when I was a competition level dancer. I was not a nice person.
It's a bit of a, honestly, like, elite level sport is a bit of a selfish endeavor. Whether if you're so focused on that one thing, that one goal, and it means so much to you, that it can become all consuming. That's something I had to work with a lot, and still do with some of my international clients. Like, it's a really tough thing to work on.
Now, Alex, I'm getting some amazing feedback from people saying they're loving it. They're loving how down-to-earth the information is. Renee saying, as a person living her second life, and I know I mentioned to you earlier, she's got a movement called How to Live a Life Left of Cancer, how important this information is, how important it is for everyone going through, and how down-to-earth it is. So lots of positive little comments. I think you just might like to know that going along.
Oh, that is fantastic. Thanks, Renee. Yeah, it occurs to me because I'm sharing my screen, I can't actually see the chat right now. So yeah, please, if there's any questions or anything, just feed them through. Get Linda to interrupt me. That's cool. I don't mind that. So I'm going to move us through to, don't be this dude. This is he's lost. He doesn't know where he's going. He's got no goals. He's been stuck on the island a long time. I don't want you to be this dude. We're going to move on to the next shift. which is training. So we're going to dive in a little bit into the nitty gritty here. So how to have an exercise program that works for you as an individual. So some things to consider. If you want fantastic results in a short time frame, online, like found it online, cookie cutter programs are probably not going to cut it. And I say this with the most love. I say this as someone that has done all the cookie cutter programs. You name a program online, I've done it. I promise you, I've done it. Like any random program, the corner of the darkest corner of the internet, tried it, probably got hurt doing it. I'm also going to go out on a whim here and say you probably don't have 10 to 12 hours a week to spend training. If you're like most of my clients, you probably have a couple of hours in a busy week of work. You might have to do 30-minute sessions. You know, you're not going to have hours and hours and hours to do this. Great if you do, you know, totally cool, but most of us don't. So it means your time and your energy is precious. It means that you can't afford to be wasting it on programs that don't work or that aren't appropriate for you. So what I've got next are 4 key principles. These are all, they sound very sciencey because they come from the world of sports science, but they're all, sports science loves overcomplicating really simple stuff, I promise you. So your principles are specificity. So if we look at that, it's is your training actually related to your goals? So now that we've set your goals, we've talked about them in that sort of first step. If your goal is to run a marathon, you're probably going to need to be running. If you want to get stronger, you're going to have to be lifting heavy weights. If you want to build muscle, you're going to have to do some form of resistance training, whether that's weights or body weight work. If you want to be losing weight, you're going to have to be in some kind of calorie deficit. We have to make sure that what we're doing is specific to what we want to accomplish. And that might sound really silly. That might sound like so obvious, but the amount of people that come to me and they have one goal and their training doesn't map up or doesn't match that goal in the slightest. Like they've been jogging 10K every other day and wondering why they don't look like Arnie. And I'm a little bit like, I'm pretty sure that's why. Next up is progressive overload. So progressive overload is sort of exactly as it sounds. Is your training getting harder over time? In order to progress, you need to be pushing your body slightly more each week. Not loads more, because that's injury city. If you're going to jump and make your exercise 30 or 50% harder every week, that's way too much. But if you can improve just by a little amount, by 3% each week, 5% each week, that really adds up over time. And that is how incredible progress is made, I promise you. So just that little bit of training each week. A lot of programs where they fall short is you do the same thing week in, week out and wonder why you're not getting anywhere. Your body is an adaptive system. If you don't offer it a new stress, it's not going to adapt. You're not giving it any reason to adapt. It's not going to do anything. So you need to keep on just finding new ways to push it a little bit at a time. So that's progressive overload. The next step is individualization. So is your training appropriate for you? If you're a beginner, we've talked about this a little bit already, do a beginner program. If you're more advanced, that means following an advanced program. Be honest with yourself about where you're at. Don't be afraid to adjust your program to better suit your needs over time. So when a client comes on board, I usually think about what's your time availability like? If you can train twice a week, we want to look and build a program around that, okay? If you're completely new to training, maybe we start with some simple exercises, some press-ups on your knees, or maybe some leg extensions in machine. Anything that's comfortable, that's simple, that's easy, that's really like quick for you to get on with. If you've been training for a while, but maybe you're struggling or you've hit a plateau, then that's where you're going to want to look at slightly more advanced stuff. You know, do you need to do a little bit more work, a few more sets here and there? Do you need to train a bit more often? Think about where you're at and what's going to be the most appropriate for you. I think that's probably a good bit of advice for everyone. And then the last one is fatigue management. Just flicking your pen at me, Linda. I saw that. Flicking away.
Yes. Well, the ex-dancer in me knows this one very well.
Like a lecture. And then the last one, fatigue management. So is your training going to allow you to recover between workouts? If you're constantly going into your next workout sore and beaten up, then you're building up too much fatigue. And this is huge. The reason I see this happening is, say that you've never trained, or say that you've maybe not trained for a while. You've had a little break. Maybe you've let your health just take a back seat as you've focused on building that business up. Say you've had 3 months where you've not done so much. And then the first workout you go back, the gyms have reopened, you know, COVID's passed. and you go straight in and you're trying to hit all the same stuff you did before, the same weights. You're going to try to run that marathon. You're going to do all this crazy stuff you were doing before. Please don't do that. It's injury
What do you mean I
city.
can't get on the treadmill and run 10Ks like I used to at the gym, Alex? What do you mean?
What? I know. Tell me, it's crazy. But yeah, I see it happen so much, and what happens when you do that is you amass so much fatigue. So in Linda's case, if you went in and tried to run that 10K in the same time as you did before, maybe you'd manage it, but the difficulty of that run would be obscene. That would be like die for 2 days afterwards.
And guys, look, the fatigue management one is a real, and when we talk about obstacles, I think, Alex, this is something, as I said, as an ex-dancer, I'm aware of this one particularly so much, because my competitive nature when it comes to health and fitness always kicks back in when I'm doing something. It's like, I must do more, I must do more, I must do more. If I don't allow my body time to heal, and I'm old now, so my body doesn't bounce back from, hey, I fell on the floor, I've done this, I've done all those sorts of things, It doesn't bounce back like it used to. But I have danced with broken toes. I've gone through injuries, and I've done stuff that is a bit stupid, because that's what you do, and haven't allowed my body to heal. And by doing that, that's where I did have to give up dance, because I was competitive enough to keep going. That so much so that, inside a 6-month period, I dislocated my knee 4 times, and the nerve end damage in my knee was enough to say, that's it, lady, you can't do this anymore. So bear in mind that you allow yourself time to heal, and don't get stupid. The same comes within business. You will get fatigue from doing a lot. Allow yourself time to heal.
I'm so glad that you segued into that. That is real. I mean, such an interesting story. I'm sorry that you had to go through that. It's that it does suck, because when those things mean so much to you at the time, like being injured and out of them is huge.
Oh yeah.
Learn
the lesson from someone who did it stupidly.
That's it, and that's why I'm here. I promise you. But yeah, what you mentioned there about fatigue and stress from business as well, so important, because stress isn't just like the fatigue that we talk about with your training. It's not just from your training, it's from your business, it's from your family life, it's from home life, it's from all the other things that are going on. Nothing exists in a vacuum. Like, so your body doesn't just perceive stress as all these different things. It doesn't have different stress buckets. Your body just perceives stress. This is stress, okay? So you've got to be honest with yourself. Like, I train a lot of youth development squads. I'm training one right now, a group of swimmers, and they'll train 5 till 7 a.m. and then they'll do school, and they'll do 5 till 7 p.m. They'll do that 5 days a week, and then they will go in on Saturday. They will do a 4-hour session on the Saturday. They can that's a lot of stress, but they can do that because they're kids and because they're doing school and everything's still pretty chill. If they had a business to run and jobs and a kid to look after and a wife and a husband, they sure as heck wouldn't be training like 11, 12 times a week. It wouldn't be possible. So you've just got to be realistic about what stress is going on in your life right now. Next up, we're going to move on.
Let's move on.
We're going to move it on. When you get this right, you can accomplish your health and fitness goals much easier. You can put less work into them. It takes less time. And you can avoid injuries and setbacks. This is a huge one. We just mentioned about the injuries and setbacks. And you can make amazing progress without feeling exhausted and run down all the time. Like, this is huge. So many people come to me and they're just, they feel like they want to accomplish this stuff, but the only way to do it is to just keep on pushing and grinding it out and doing all the work possible and just feeling horrible. Look, if that is you, if that's you right now and you're thinking, wait, I'm doing that. I feel horrible exercising all the time. Please don't do that. Like, there's so much better ways to do it, okay? You can get in touch with me. You just find a way. Email me. Do something. Don't just like knack yourself. Yeah, please don't do that. We're going to keep on moving. For you business savvy folks, it's maths, it's time, and it's money, okay? So if we run this 52 hours of training 4 times a week for 90 minutes, sorry, 52 weeks of training 4 times a week, 90 minutes, it's 312 hours. If you can cut that down to 52 weeks of training 3 times a week for 70 minutes, it's 182 hours. It's 130 hours of time, okay? If you use that for extra work, even if you earn £15 or 27 Australian dollars, I did that conversion last night, so it might not be
very clever.
Yeah. Think about that. Even if you're earning that amount, like it's almost £2,000, 3.5K a year, every year in your pocket through saved time. Like, I mean, I wouldn't mind that. Just if someone fancies giving me a little check in a post, little 3.5K a year. I mean, I wouldn't say no.
Bearing in mind, guys, that 130 hours doesn't just translate to the business. It translates to family. It translates to friends. It translates to walking away and doing the stuff that you want. I don't have time to spend. Okay, I'm going to put this into real terms. The amount of business owners say, I don't have time to spend on my marketing. And I go, but marketing is 80% of the job. There's 130 hours. There's your marketing. There's an increase in marketing and an increase in sales. And if you put that into marketing, that's what you'll get.
100%. Yeah, that's exactly it. You can put that time anywhere. You can allocate that to marketing and absolutely supercharge your business. You can put that into your family and friend time and just bolster those relationships and feel like, oh, hey family, hey friends, I haven't seen you in 4 months because I've been working 24/7. Let's spend some time together. So I think that is really important. Last one, the step that everyone loves to chat about, and there's so many big opinions on, nutrition. So this is a little step-by-step roadmap to prioritize the habits that actually matter. Without a roadmap, I love using this little image. End up like this little buddy. Okay, so your diet, your energy levels, your body composition, they're all going to be random. 1 minute you're making great progress, and the next you're stuck like my buddy over here, just stuck, doesn't really know what to do. That's what's going to end up happening. You need a roadmap, you need a plan to follow. With a roadmap, you can have endless progress whenever you want by following the steps in the right order. Success can become an inevitable result of your nutrition habits rather than a hope. So you can sort of rest easy knowing that your health, your body shape, it's been taken care of, right? To your roadmap. This is basically the sequence of steps that I take every client through. So it's what I would get you to follow every single time you want to make progress, so you don't leave anything to chance. And here it is. What you will notice about these steps, I've not told you at any point, look, 1, 2, 3, 4. Does anything say, eat this, don't eat this, do this? Hell no. If you want to have cake, have cake. If you want to have chocolate. I'm not a monster. No one should tell you you can't have that stuff. It is insane how many people come to me and they've made nutrition so complicated by following a diet that doesn't make sense. And it's all the time. There are so many fads because it's $1 billion industry. The reality is, the stuff right here that I'm going to take you through. This is the stuff that science has shown works. Like, we have had dozens of literature reviews. This is it. This is the stuff that is going to get you the body composition you want, that is going to improve your energy. I'm going to go out on a limb and assume that you probably already know what is sort of healthy food and what is sort of not, right? Vegetables, fruits, whole grains, nuts, seeds, lean sources of protein. We sort of know this is good kind of stuff. Cakes, Doritos, Mountain Dew, the thing you found on the side of the road. It's all stuff we probably shouldn't have. We all know this, No, I don't think I've ever sat, I don't know about you, but I've never sat of an evening eating a big piece of chocolate cake thinking, I'm supercharging my health right now. Like,
raspberries on the other hand, completely, different stuff.
Absolutely, yeah, fruit, a little bit healthy, something, it's but it doesn't mean it's not delicious. So I think there's room for that in any diet, and I think that's something that I try to get across to all my clients, that you can do that stuff. There's plenty of ways to work around it. And the number one thing we're going to start with on this roadmap is to track your calories. No diet, nothing you do will ever work if you're not in a calorie deficit. If you want to lose weight, you have to be taking in less calories than you're burning on a daily basis, either through exercise or through daily sort of moving around. And we can add and reduce as needed. The same works in opposite. If you're wanting to build a bit of muscle or to improve some sports performance, you're probably going to have a few more calories than that. It's fairly simple stuff. And the amount of health coaches that want to be super radical and tell you that calories don't matter and you don't have to count them, and it's just the fundamental scientific principle. Okay, it's became this weird world nowadays where people want sort of just come up with bizarre points. So you have like, I've heard of, is there sins? Is sins what Weight Watchers use nowadays? I don't know. I've heard of so many of these different fad diet points that come up with euphemisms for calories because we don't want to track them. Just track your calories. You can use, so little hot tip. If you've never used MyFitnessPal, it's a fantastic app. You can download it on your phone, get it on your laptop. It has little barcode scanner, so you can grab your phone.
How good is that?
How cool is that, right? You just scan your food in, boom, and then it comes up. It brings your calories up. It tells you what's in the food. It couldn't be easier. If you do that for an entire week, because we're all creatures of habit, we tend to sort of eat the same stuff on repeat. All your information's in there. You just need to log in 5 minutes a day. Pop, pop, pop. This is what I've had. And that's my calories sorted, done. I have that information to work from, all right?
Look, Renee's just said she loves how the people who count calories think that all calories are equal to.
Truth, yes. All calories are not equal, okay? If I have 2,000 calories and they all come from Starburst or Skittles or one of my favorite sugary snacks, probably not going to help my body in the same way that if they came from better choices of food, which is where we come on to some of these next steps. Yep. So I might want to track my protein. There's some really good research out there. Once I've got my calories sort of under control and I know what I'm eating, I can probably see some really good body composition. I can start to see some good changes in terms of lowering my body fat percentage. I'll also start to see increased energy levels. I'll start to see reduced amounts of hunger just by having a little bit more protein on the daily basis. So yep. a good rule of thumb, if you're training hard, if you're doing exercise, is about 1 gram per pound of body weight. You can have less by all means, but if you're looking to optimize that around that kind of figure, it's going to be really, really a good benchmark to hit. So yeah, it's that simple. And look, the same trick again. You can grab your phone, you can use MyFitnessPal, boom, it will bring it all up for you, and it tracks your protein. If you're finding it hard to get that protein in, I'm not going to grab it out of my cupboard now because I'm just going to have to dig through stuff. Grab a protein shake, completely yep. fine. I have my little vegan protein powder. It does the job. Are you looking around for your protein?
Yeah, but this actually has protein inside the container. The container sits on the desk.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's not that difficult, honestly. Even if you're working in a super busy profession, if you're super busy at work, at your office and at the desk, if you've got 2 minutes in a day, you can get a couple of scoops of protein in, maybe a handful of some nuts or something, slam them down in 2 minutes. Happy days, you're going to be nice and full for a while. You've got some of those sort of macronutrients that you need. Third point. Once we've got that protein, we might just start looking at our other macronutrients. So our carbohydrates and our fats, and we're just going to adjust from there a little bit. So we've got our calories sort of controlled. We've got our protein controlled. You can get 90% of your results from there. So many of my clients only ever do steps 1 or 2, and they get fantastic results. So much better energy. Their body's looking better, they're getting into a great shape, they're feeling really happy about themselves. You can get so much done with that. If you want to get to step 3, all you need to start doing is just looking at those carbohydrate amounts and the fat amounts and just adjust. The main adjustment for most people, so anyone watching this is the biggest adjustment I have people make. If you are having a day when you're training, if you're having a really hard training session, so say I'm Linda, I've gone to the gym, I'm going to smash this 10K run, jogging along, I've killed it, PR for the day. That is a day that you can have some more carbohydrates because you've burnt them all that glycogen that is stored up in your muscle cells. Yeah, you've burnt that energy, you've used that energy, so you can have those carbs because they're going to refuel those glycogen stores. They're going to be used appropriately, so that's all good. But on the other hand, if you haven't trained, if you've been chilling for the weekend, relaxing with the family, probably just want to cut down those carbs a little bit, because if you're going to have a ton of carbs and you're not training, your body can't utilize them for anything. So it's just going to have to be stored, likely as fat. And it's just going to start working on some of those insulin sensitivity responses, which we don't like because they're what leads to pre-diabetes and all that bad stuff over time anyway. So just modulate those carbs a little bit. Just think, okay, am I training? Sweet, have a ton. Am I not training? All right, maybe I'm going to back off those a little bit. That's sort of all making sense so far?
Sounds good. This one I think is huge for business owners about optimizing your meal timings. When I first started in business, and I'll say this with all honesty, my daughter went back to school, I was known for eating lunch as I went to do school pickup. 3 o'clock in the afternoon, correct me if I'm wrong, Alex, is not appropriate time to be eating lunch. No.
So I can, yeah. It's not ideal. It's not an ideal lunch. What I would say is it's probably going to vary per individual. You know, if it worked for your schedule and it allows you to hit goals number 1, 2, and 3, then that's fine. But if it wasn't, if you eating lunch at 3 p.m. was making you miss your calories or mess your calories up or throwing your protein out of whack, then that might be a bit of an issue. So when
I get the fact that I was doing it on the way to school pickup in the car.
Yeah, so that'll do it. This is so true for business owners. For anyone that's living a really busy life, when you've got a lot of stuff on the go, I do realize that meal timings can be sometimes hard to stick to. If you can stick to a schedule, that's fantastic, but it can be difficult. Which is why I put it in 4th in the list. So if you're getting super stressed about thinking, oh, I have to eat this at this time and this at this time and this at this time, don't stress yourself about it. Okay, as long as you can hit those first goals, that's what matters. If you have hit those first 3 goals and you're like, yeah, I'm a tracking beast, I've got my phone out, I've got my MyFitnessPal, I'm killing this, you know, to optimize those meal timings a little bit, there are a couple of little rules we can use that are really going to help us out. The first one is that it can help to spread your protein throughout the day. How your body has this little process called it's like muscle protein synthesis. So if you can get more protein throughout the day, you're going to just help fuel your muscles a little bit better. It's going to help you have more energy throughout the day. It's going to help you feel more satiated, so more full. You're not going to be like snacking all the time. In the same way that if you have a meal that's really heavy in carbs and sugars, you're going to be wanting some snacks pretty soon after, because that's just how they work. So if you can spread that protein out a bit throughout your meals, really helpful. And then carbohydrates. If you are exercising, we've mentioned this already, if you cluster some of your carbohydrates around your training window, so say you were training, when's a good time? I'm going to use myself as an example. So I train midday. I do some work between 9 and 12:30ish, and then I'll train for a little bit, 12:30 till 1:30ish. Yep. I'll probably try and have a lot of my carbs, a lot of my sugars around that time, because then my body's better going to utilize them. There's a good body of research supporting that. So if you want to have those delicious carbs, if you're thinking, all right, I want to slam down some cake today, do it right after training, and your body's going to utilize it much better than slamming down that cake at 10 p.m. You know, so yep. Just these little like biological tricks you can use to help your body better utilize some of these nutrients. But don't stress it too much. You don't need to be super worried about meal timings unless you've got those first 3 things down. And that is that. So why those 3 steps? Because those in that order, they allow me and my clients to make consistent, predictable progress. They don't leave anything to chance. No stone is left unturned. So the majority of results, as I've said, the majority of those results will come from following step 1, and then the next biggest chunk from step 2. It's like the nutrition pyramid, you know, and we're going up as we go. You got to get that foundation, which is those calories, and then you're going to build on up. And the reason I love this is because you get to be this happy cat with this smile. Your diet, your energy levels, they're all within your control. You know exactly what to focus on, in what order to get the results that you want in your health and fitness. You know the foods to eat. You know this. I don't have to tell you that. But if you can focus on tracking, being a little scientist, getting that information, you're going to get great results, and you're going to know what to do at what time. And that's going to make a huge difference, more than anything else I can tell you for your energy levels. If you can eat decent foods in the right amounts, that is going to make a huge difference to your day-to-day energy. And results like these happen. So you get people losing weight. You get lovely messages where people message you and they've, accomplished their weight loss goals, and happy things.
Awesome.
So the quick recap, I'm pretty much at the end of what I wanted to start talking about. What are we at? Oh, look at that. We've been chatting for about an hour, or rather I've been talking at you for about an hour. So I said that we talk about an info diet. We go over 3 key questions to talk about goals. We talk about how to design training programs that deliver results. We go through that step-by-step nutrition roadmap. And I hope that I've covered all of that, really. The last bit, you should have enough sort of direction at this point to start taking positive action towards your health and fitness goals. So if you finish watching this, whoever you are watching right now or watching later on the replay, don't go to YouTube after this and start watching more stuff. If you have an Instagram full of fitness stuff, just turn it off. Just chill. You don't need it. I promise you. You're just gonna get that compare and despair kind of mindset. You know what you need to do. You have some decent steps. It's time to start putting them into action and just designing based on what we've talked about.
Absolutely.
But Alex, why are you sharing this with me? I love having this slide. I always do this little bit. So is it from the pure goodness of my heart? Maybe a little bit, but we're all business owners here, and I'm a business owner too. I do generally love to help, but I'm a service provider. And my logic is, if I can offer you value here and run you through the actual systems that I do as transparently as possible, that you'll think, nah, this guy looks all right. He seems pretty genuine, seems to know what he's talking about, or at least he talks enough science at me that I assume he knows what he's talking about. So I get to make a living doing what I love, helping people like you achieve more energy, achieve a great looking body, achieve a high performing body that supports you in business, that supports you in your personal life. And that's what I do, really. My last little slide, to give you a little bit of context, I just run a 12-week high performer program, and this is essentially what I run all my clients through, and it's the chance to work with me one-to-one, and I offer you real-time guidance through everything we've talked about here today. So designing your program, building your nutrition plan out, setting those goals, diving into all of that. We'll also cover some stuff about mentality and like mental roadmaps and all the kind of things that you can use to dial that in. But that's me in a nutshell. It's like the fast track to accomplishing your goals, in the same way that working with Linda's the fast track to like smashing your market in, you know, like that's what we do.
It's what we do.
Basically, what was that?
It is what we do.
It is what we do. It is what we do.
Okay.
And yeah, I just support people through like Messenger. We have chats every couple of weeks to keep you accountable, to keep you on the right track. If it sounds like something you might be interested in, what I've done on the slide here is I've also
popped it in chat, guys.
Perfect. Yeah, I've popped it in the chat. It should be right at the top. This link, you can copy and paste it into your browser. It'll be available on the replay. It's on the chat, so you can get it there. You can just book a call with me. We'll just have a little bit of a chat. We can go over your goals in a bit of detail and ask each other some questions. If it seems like a good fit, we'll get started. That's what I do. It's as simple as that, really.
Awesome work. Alex, thank you for joining us today. I know from my point of view, it is about taking genuine action. I'm going to challenge everyone here today to move the words grind and hustle from their marketing, from their Instagram posts, from all of those sorts of things out there. And let's, like everything in business, aim for sustainable growth in both business and in health. Hustling and grinding will only burn us out throughout the journey. So I don't know about Alex. I feel like I want to, go out and ban the words hustle and grind.
Yes, that is probably the take-home message. If we can take anything from today, is hustle and grind. They're done. They're out. They're very 90s. They're very 2000s. We're done with them now. All right. So me and Linda will hunt you down if there's any more hustle and grind on those Facebook and Instagram and Twitter statuses.
Beautiful. Guys, thank you. Alex, once again, thank you. We are back with another skills webinar towards the end of July. We have Matt Bell from the Blinkers team actually coming in to talk to us about how we can optimize our learning. Head to business.com.au/skills. You will see that webinar coming up. Lovely thank you messages coming up in both areas now, Alex, for you, which is great. For those of you who haven't seen the announcement, there is a special. Yes, I am believing that COVID will be allowing us to gather in one space. There is a special 3-day workshop on the 27th, 28th and 29th of November with Clive and myself about kickstarting your business for 2021. So you'll go through marketing strategy with me, you'll go through business strategy and goal planning with Clive, and then I have our branding photographer coming in place. So we're going to do branding shoots and a couple of little promo videos for your business over 3 days. So if you want to write off 2020 or you want to 2020 and boost it and get everything through the goals, then that one is there. That is limited to 10 people, guys. So it is announced. Early bird tickets are open for it. It's on the skills page on the BBB website. If it's something that you want to do, please jump in, register for that one. I think 3 of the spots are already gone. So it's looking really exciting to delve into business. You know, Alex, hopefully the borders are open. You can fly on here. Take your wife on an Australian holiday.
I could finally get some sun for the first time in my life. My pasty white skin would get a tan. It'd be brilliant.
Or you'll be like I am with the Welsh girl here. You burn. I have
Thank
a
you
Welsh
so much
heritage
for having me
in my
today.
family. Last having you here. Guys, go and book a call with Alex. What have you got to lose? You've got nothing to lose, but what you do have the opportunity is to maybe get some tips that will help you be a healthier, productive, and more engaged and energetic business owner, which is what we all want to be when it comes to the world of business. And you get to be there for your team, your business, your clients, and your family and friends. So I'm going to wrap it up with that. Thanks, Alex, for joining us once again. Go get some sleep, and we'll see you all around. Bye.
See you later. Bye, everyone.